Agree? Something to think about. Because doubt is an assassin to progress. And the moment that you actually accept doubt, you just killed every possibility and every hope that you had to continue in anything that you want to do. So, we have the first step is choose. Second step, oppose failure. Third, use the power of purpose. Fourth, reject doubt. I'm going to love this one. I like this. It's probably one of my favorite steps. A, acquire your team. Woo. Any sports fans in here? Anybody who's an athlete has been on a team, who's done something with a team, who actually had to put together a team at work or some sort of fashion. Could you do it all by yourself?
No.
Can Michael Jordan win a game by himself?
No.
Why? Team, right? Consistency, right? Synergy, right? So why should we, if it takes 5 people to win a championship, why do we think we can do it by ourselves? Look around you. There are so many different phases of talent in here that we should be networking with. There are so many individuals who actually have a skill set that I just don't have. And guess what? I'm humble enough to say, I just don't have it. Gaskins, I can say, you know what, look, you can wear that suit better than I can, so you know what, you go ahead and keep wearing that suit. You know, Mr. Scurry, I can't wear purple tennis shoes, but you make them look fly. But guess what though? If we got together, we start actually walking out, we will look so unified and so nice that people are like, you know what, I want to be a part of them. Bosses attract people. Bosses never actually be attracted to individuals who are not ever doing anything. So when you say you're a boss, I have to ask this question, what are you attracting? Who is your team? Is your team a lot of mediocre people that have no sense of going in any direction? And you're going to allow yourself to continue to be frustrated? Or are you going to say, you know what, I'm going to pick my team. I'm going to be the Phil Jackson and say, you know what, I need a championship team right now. I need somebody who actually could be a speaker. I need somebody who could be a writer. I need someone like Miss Regina and say, look, guys, look, our community needs this, so let's go ahead and get the powerful men together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Outstanding, outstanding. So, any comments first before I move into my next point? Okay, should I ask, how do you design a team? That's a good question. Ella, good question, Ella. All right. Mr. Scurry, how do you design, how would you acquire your team?
Look at people's skill sets, their strengths, and then let's go from there. Because everybody has a skill. Everybody has a certain skill, you know, and then you just pull the people with the strongest skill together. You know, everybody brings something to the team.
Outstanding. Sir, how would you acquire your team?
You gotta do research. You always gotta do background checks.
Touche, especially in business.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Like you said, find a man best fit for the job.
Outstanding. How would you acquire your team?
Finding someone that has the opposite skill set that you have to advantage.
Can I say something? I'm going to say it anyway, so I'm going to say it. It doesn't make us less of a boss by acknowledging we don't have certain strengths that somebody else has. And I think what happens, we get this inferior complex that because you're able to operate effectively in this area, I should now feel like you're a competitor and not a collaborator. I tell you right now, you ask me to outline what my opportunities are, which means my weaknesses. This is another fancy word in corporate America that says your weaknesses are opportunities. I have no problem outlining them because I know myself enough that I don't have the ability that some of you individuals have. But however, together with y'all, so we can do some damage. I'm letting you know that now. And, you know, I do not have a fearful spirit at all. You put a challenge in front of me, I myself might not be able to do it, but guess what? I'm gonna take about 7, 10 of y'all, and you know what? Now y'all got something to do with, you know?
Confidence.
Oh yeah, confidence. And people say, well, you're arrogant. No, it's not arrogant. Arrogance oftentimes is miscommunicated with confidence depending on who's perceiving it. So if you automatically have an inferior spirit, you will see any individual who has confidence as arrogance. So you're misquoting and misperceiving who I am because you don't know what my story was. So if you don't know what my story was, who are you to tell me who I am? And thankfully, I put enough positive reinforcements on my own life that I don't need your negative. All right?
All right.
Any comments so far before I go to the next one?
Call
Good?
power of positive thinking, not arrogance.
Ooh, power. You know what? Let's talk about power of positive thinking. I'm going to extend that one and say the power of I must thinking. Most people don't do anything to win. It's a must. Notice that? What if we engaged everything we did with the mindset of I must do it?
Yeah.
What could we not accomplish?
Nothing.
If I must change the economy in Greenwood, if I must talk to 15 to 20 of these young men so they could be game changers, what would we do? Fear would never have an opportunity for an individual who has I must thinking at the forefront of their mind. So guess what? I must think, or I must do. My wife lets me know that I must do a lot. I must do her rights. I must do the fatherhood. I must provide. She's already imposed those things on me, right? But however, I've already accepted those. Any other comments so far? All right, so where are we at right now? We have
One thing.
Yes, sir.
Also, when you were talking about, what was your fourth one? Reject doubt. And what was the next one?
no. The third was reject doubt.
Okay, what was
The fourth one's acquired team.
Yeah, acquire team. You look at it, you can also put that when you acquire a team, something called cooperative learning.
Yes.
That A student, two A people together, two A students together gonna probably think alike. So you need a B and a C student that also, and that cooperative learning comes together, because with that mindset and that kind of team, you will have different ways of how you're gonna reach your goal instead of just an A person or a B person with an A person. That C person's gonna bring some stuff in there as well. They might not gonna do all the things that the A person is doing, but it's all gonna come together.
So when you say A, are you talking about personality or in grades?
No, grades.
All right. Good point. Let me tell you something. Just because you're a B or C somewhere else, don't mean that you're not an A somewhere else.
Right. Well, there you go. That's where
Right.
we're at.
I tell you right now, I'm after my favorite subject. They put me in advanced placement. I went from an A to a D. But guess what? You have me put together a team. I can do that very effectively. All right. I'm the person you want on your team when it's time to get some things done. I guarantee you. I guess it's probably part of my Marine Corps training, I suppose, right? Hey, it is what it is. Any other comments so far before we go to the next step?
I have one.
Yes, sir. Mr.
I
Gaskin.
think Donald's saying something about having likes.
Yes.
You know, when I build my team, because I'm always interviewing for my team, my A team, I'm always interviewing.
Yes, sir.
But the thing of it is, I don't want everybody to agree.
That's right.
I want agitators. You can't wash clothes. Clothes don't get clean unless you have some agitation.
Yes. Yes.
So I need an agitator. I
Yes.
need somebody that's gonna make me be creative.
Mhm.
Gonna make me think.
Yes.
You know, and so I honor that agitator. I just don't want a whole bunch of agitators. But I do need agitators.
You know what? I'll be one of your agitators. I don't have no mind agitating you. There's a scripture that says iron sharpens iron. The reason why we're with people who are not being sharpened because we misidentify what metal they are. If you're a copper, you can never ever be iron. Make sense? Because if you think about the shaping of iron, how is it shaped? When you forge it, you format it and mold it to what you want to, and you do a lot of pounding, right? So if we're constantly doing that to each other, now I've just strengthened you. You ever notice that in the medieval days, the gates that they used were never of any other type of metal except for what? Why? Because after it's been forged, it's almost impossible to break it. So that means if we collect a bond of a collaborative individuals, it should be impossible for any individual in this community to separate us. But what's it going to take? Us sharpening each other, agitating Mr. Gaskins.
Right.
We all should just get together collectively and agitate Mr. Gaskins. Bring it on, right?
He's the best agitator.
Any other comments, real quick, before we go to the next one? All right, so we have choose, the first step, right? Of courage. We have O, which is what? Oppose failure. U, I'm gonna test y'all. Use the power of purpose. R, reject doubt. A, which is acquire your team, right? Now G. Now some of y'all ain't gonna like this one. I don't even like this one. When I got this, get in shape. Anything that's gonna be long term has to be fit for the long term.
Right.
And I'm not talking about from a physical sense, I'm talking about the way you think. What are you feeding your mind that's going to ensure that when you do get to that next level, that you're able to sustain it? See, I learned something. Starting something is really easy. Sustaining it and finishing is a different story. I started my MBA program, finished it, but you know what? 17 times, I was about to throw my laptop out of the window. I told my wife, I said, look, I'm done. Yo, econ, you finance major, I don't understand this. I got ready to pick up the laptop. She said, you do. I wish you would throw that out. As much money we spend on this degree, I wish you would. My iron, that's my sharpener, okay? So what she do? She made me buckle down and say, Lord, sweetie, you got this. You got this. How many times are we telling each other, you got this? Sir, you're tired, guess what? I have to pour into you. You got this. It's a reminder that I have the strength to complete anything that I start and to finish. They say African-American men, which I disagree with, are great starters but horrible finishers.
Totally disagree with that.
What's that?
I totally disagree with that.
I disagree with it. But that's why you have to challenge who the information is coming from. I would never accept any type of information without doing research myself. Especially since it's about me and my culture, right? Yeah. Because, you know, historically we could prove to who's more efficient, proficient, and who became more profitable over the years, but we leave that on a different table, okay? Because I do not mind debating anyone about anything, especially when it comes to us. So, also what we need to get in shape, we need to get our finances in shape. We have to be better stewards of being accountable for our spending habits. The gross national product says the African-American culture, and again, I may disagree with this, but I don't know how to get the information, $700 to $800 billion from the African-American community.
That's about right.
No, I was about to say, that might be true.
That's
So,
very true.
but think about this for a moment. Remember we're talking about thinking. And earlier I said we have to strengthen our intellectual excellence, right?
Right.
So that means I am accountable for every dollar I spend. And if it's not in the black community, I have to ask myself, why is that? Do I not trust another African-American man or woman to handle my dollar as I would my Caucasian, Asian, and Hispanic counterparts?
It comes from a miseducation process, though.
That's what we talked about last time.
It comes from a miseducation process, but the miseducation by whom?
Mindset about people that have been stealing them by the outside system, that white folks' ice is cold on the other side of town, and our ice is not, but it's the same ice.
We got an Asian market on Montague. I know we got 11 Asians living in Greenwood at the most. And we ain't have no black markets. No. That's basic.
It's choice. I'm sorry, people can feed you whatever you want. It's your choice what you do. I mean, I know if there's a brother over here selling ice, and Mr. Chain over here selling ice, even though Mr. Chain, they say Mr. Chain's ice cold, I don't have to buy Mr. Chain's ice.
True.
I still can go and buy Donald's ice.
True.
So it's choice.
It's choice, but you have to think about the mental conditioning that takes
There you
place
go.
that
Conditions.
makes that choice. Because if I've always been imprisoned in my thinking that, let's say for example, my mom said you can't eat everyone's spaghetti. We're from Louisiana, so we don't count the world, right? Also, we have little innuendos like that, nuances like that. We start putting in the psyches of our kids, so guess what? I can't trust you now. Because you're always doing something, I think subconsciously you're going to try to do something to me. But I don't know anything about this culture. Right. This culture might be robbing me blind, but guess what? I don't have the education in this culture, so now I feel safer because all the information I've been given about my own culture has been derogatory.
Exactly.
That's why it's easier for me to kill another brother because I don't identify you with another, as a brother.
When I was an undergrad and taking psychology, even in graduate school, this thing called conditioned stimulants.
Yes,
You
I'm
condition
familiar with it, yes.
operating conditioned stimulants where, you know, with the dog salivating to the bone.
Yes.
That's the same thing that's going on with our young men, see. And then as I studied more and got into another zone of things and you looked at Fraud, who was a cocaine addict, and you looked at all the theories that he wrote, he probably was high on cocaine at the time. So that condition